What's good, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? I am your man, Bo, one half of the ESMR Revengers, and I'm coming at you tonight with some interesting news that we heard today from DJ Akademiks. So, for those of you that don't know, DJ Akademiks and one Nicki Minaj have been beefing as of late, and it all stems from Nicki Minaj's appearance on Queen Radio with Joe Budden, and then consequently on Joe Budden's show where she called DJ Akademiks his sidekick. And ever since then, supposedly, Nicki Minaj has been sending some threatening tweets to DJ Akademiks. DJ Akademiks, to his credit, has kind of laughed it off. But it has all led to what happened today. Pardon me not looking into the camera. I'm getting it all queued up so you guys can understand what is happening. Probably should have did that before the video started. However, DJ Akademiks is actually talking about the fact that Nicki Minaj may have actually started the beef between Drake and Meek Mill with the comment that she made in a clothing or shoe store. Let's check out what DJ Akademiks had to say.
And I would love for her to contest that. Everybody in the industry heard about the shit with how I don't want to say everybody. The shit with you and Meek at the store, you telling him because he couldn't pay for your shit. Yeah, that's why Drake wouldn't do that. That's why that nigga fired off them tweets. Also, mad niggas heard about the joint with you egging them niggas.
Hold on. So they're at the counter. Apparently, Meek Mill can't pay for the stuff because he didn't have enough money on him, whatever the case may be. I doubt that's really the case. He couldn't pay for it, but maybe he just only had cash. And then she says to him, Drake wouldn't do that to me. Drake. Shouts to Soulja Boy. That's messed up. Let's hear some more.
Is on to beat up Quentin Miller. Stop the shit, my nigga. Like, you've been thinking you a thug for a long time because you've had street niggas around you. You've dated them.
Sidebar, she does think she's a thug. That's a fact. Nicki does act like that.
Now you finally got a street nigga in your bed, and this street nigga as your husband. That's why you talking that shit. Cut it out. Cut it out. Anyway. I just have to give it a little rant. I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all.
We got a lot of dead air
here. Somebody finish the Meek and... No!
We're going to get into the story a little bit more.
The story is Nicki and Meek, while they're dating. I heard this from super inside. Intimate. They're involved in this shit. The person who told me that, if Meek had saw him during that time, he's getting pounded out by the Dream Chasers.
Pause. No, really, pause. Pound it out. Also, you can see DJ Akademiks take a sip from the Henny bottle during this video. You might want to chill on the Henny, but I mean, maybe he makes his money that way.
Trust me. I heard, and this is after they've gotten cool, and I guess, they've talked about whatever. Nicki Minaj goes to a store. I don't know if it was Louis Vuitton or some high expensive
Probably
store.
Louis Vuitton.
They grab a bunch of shit.
They got money, man.
Nicki, even though she makes, to me, marginally a lot more than Meek, she's looking at Meek like, you, my nigga, pay for this shit. Meek had a bunch of cash on him. Cash. He was going to pay for the shit. The shit came up to more cash than he had. He looks at Nicki.
Okay, weird story here because I'm sure Meek Mill has credit cards. I'm sure he could swipe one of them credit cards. I do find it a little interesting, and that makes the story seem a little bit false. Like, I doubt Meek Mill's going to have a problem putting something on credit for Nicki Minaj. But let's let Akademiks continue.
Says, yo, could you pay for this with, like, your card? Blah, 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 ma. Give you back, blah, blah. It's not like Meek was being broke. He's just, he was paying with cash.
He's being careful not to disrespect me, too. I don't blame him.
She felt a certain type of way. She separated her shit from his.
Damn.
Says, yo, I'm only paying for this, and gives her card.
Damn.
They run this shit. Of course, it goes through. And she looks at him before she walks out the store and leaves and says, Drake wouldn't do that shit.
Drake?
In terms of Drake wouldn't ask her to pay for no shit like that. Keep in mind, it's an emotional Meek who's going through some shit. At that time, he thought Drake may have, like... Again, I ain't trying to bring up old shit, but Drake may have shysted him on, like, he should have came to, like, some concert shit he didn't.
So first of all, it's grimy that Nicki would even bring this up. If you listen to any of Drake's music, especially even on his debut album, Thank Me Later, he talks about the fact he wants to marry Nicki Minaj. He said on a few records that he wants to sleep with her. That only track with Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj, he talks about how he would set up sleeping with her. So Meek probably already feels a certain type of way about Drake anyway. And now you got Nicki throwing it in his face. I don't know if this story is true, but I could see it because I do think Nicki is questionable with her loyalties and with the way she handles herself, in my personal opinion. Let's hear some more.
Drake might be like sneak dissing on the Rico record. And Meek paid for his own shit. And while he was leaving, Meek fucking tweeted out in the back of the shit, "Yo, don't y'all ever compare me to Drake." That's what he said. Go look at the tweets and listen to my story. Drake don't ever compare me to Drake. Drake don't even write his own shit. Blah, blah, blah. And in the last tweet, in that first set of tweets, because he was tweeting on multiple days, was, "I just did this shit to show somebody that I don't give a fuck."
Now, here's my problem. And I talked to Anweezy about this earlier, my lovely wife, and she said, you don't take that problem up with the dude, you take it up with the chick. And I agree with that. If this is the reason that Meek Mill got on Twitter and started talking about Drake, this is highly, highly, highly stupid. And I will say this, women are typically a lot of the reasons that men beef. I think actually probably about 70%, in my opinion, is because of a woman. However, this don't make no sense. You already know where Drake is at with it. And why would he, after the fact, tweet something instead of just talking to her? I mean, a lot of this story, the more and more you think about it, doesn't make a lot of sense. But I have to say, Meek has been pretty emotional in the past, so I can see some of the story being true.
Who was that somebody? Nicki fucking Minaj, who gassed him up, who antagonized the nigga, and then he basically said that. That's what I heard, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And I guarantee you, niggas might, because niggas don't be scared to speak on this. I would love for her to respond to this shit, because mad niggas in the industry heard this same story. Mad niggas. She paid for her shit, she left. He paid for his shit. When he was in the car, he tweeted out just to let her know, like, yo, you must think I'm pussy, or like, you must not know me if you think you could just throw another nigga or whatever. Knowing that Meek had questioned her earlier about, like, yo, why does nigga Drake rapping about the girl of your dreams is probably not a thing to me.
And so that's insecurity too. First of all, I would hope Meek wouldn't get in the car next to his girl. I mean, think about this. Let's say they leave the spot. They get in a two-seater vehicle, right? He's sitting next to her on Twitter tweeting that out. Why? To me, that's extremely childish. I'm not saying it couldn't have happened. It just seems weird to me. Also, if you reference the Rico record Akademiks mentioned earlier, he has a line on there when he says, the girl of your dreams to me probably isn't a challenge, or something to that effect. And I guess that got Meek Mill thinking about Nicki. But I can't see him being, there's a lot of this stuff that seems weird. I can't see Meek being that sensitive. Although Akademiks made a good point at the beginning of the video. This was an earlier time and Meek was going through some things. He was on pills heavily at one point. Definitely could have been something that he reacted to poorly. But even if that's the case, you need to switch up your girl, not come at Drake, because he's been pretty upfront about the fact that he wants her.
And everybody told him, nah, it ain't nothing. Like, from what I heard, it was even Wayne and like, yo, I don't know what that nigga told about me. He ain't talking about me. He ain't talking about, and she ain't nothing. So Meek already thinking some shit. Now you throw that in his face. Oh, what? I bet. Sit him. I'm going to show you how much I'm a real nigga. I don't give a fuck. That's what I heard. So I only throw that out to say, Nicki been thinking she like some fucking, she been on some shit like that. Same thing with Quentin Miller, nigga. Mad people will tell you about the Quentin Miller story.
And these are facts about Nicki. Nicki does act like she's hard all the time. I don't know if y'all remember her running up on Miley Cyrus at the MTV, I think it was the VMAs. Why are you doing that with Miley Cyrus, man? I do feel like Nicki has this larger than life, I'm bad as I want to be personality. And I do notice that she seems to be with men that are maybe underneath her stardom a little bit. She was with Safari, kind of below her level. She's with Meek, kind of below her level. Maybe not now, but at that time he was. And currently her husband's kind of a regular dude, which by all means, live your life. There's no judgment, but I can see how she kind of feels like she always has to control the guy she's with, and she does have that "I'm bad, I'm gangsta, I'll take you out" type of persona.
I've heard it from 6 or 7 different people.
What's wrong with Akademiks, man? He gotta chill. Sorry.
The chasers ran down on him.
6 or 7 different people.
What up? Yo, why were you co-signing Drake on blah blah? Yo, you know blah blah the truth, blah blah blah. Nigga was like, yeah, but it's like, alright, yo, listen, man, yo, you gotta clear that up. Da 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 blah 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 blah. They left. They pressed them in the Nike store. They left. They came back with a camera phone ready. Yo, you have to say on camera, that letter you wrote for Drake is not blah blah blah. Confirm it and confess it on camera, and Quentin didn't, and niggas fired off on him.
And first off, shouts to Quentin Miller for not caving when he had a bunch of dudes in his face trying to get him to do something. Because I've heard this story in the past too, where they did approach him about saying that, you know, he wasn't co-signing something that Drake said, or he wrote something for Drake that, you know, he wasn't really a part of, or kind of like that was Drake's thing and he wasn't a part of it. And he stood by and he held it down. Or maybe they wanted to admit, it might have been that they wanted him to admit that he wrote for Drake and he wouldn't do it. Either way, that's dope. Stand on your own 10 toes. You don't allow nobody to bully you. I think that's hard. He did get his ass whooped though.
Why did they come back after they were seemingly cool with just pressing him? Because from what I heard, Shorty said, wait, y'all just ran down on one of y'all ops and nothing happened? Y'all just came back? Yo, y'all niggas pussy for that. And they went back and said, oh, word? Let's do some shit to this nigga if you don't do what we want. Bad. That's what happened.
Hey, baby.
I'm going to just throw it out there. Y'all don't got to believe me. But let Shorty address it, because the whole industry know that shit. I'm going to tell you, I'm the worst nigga they ever introduced to this shit. Because when I hear some shit, I be holding it for a little bit. But let one of y'all fuck niggas be just questioning me like I'm some liar or some shit. I love throwing it into the air. Let everybody see that shit. Alright? I guarantee she won't mention that shit.
And I will say, this is corny Akademiks to say, oh, I hold on to secrets and air them out when it's appropriate. That's not really gangster, man. I mean, I get what you got to do. You getting paid off it. You got a crib off it. You living a good life off it. I can't really be a hater, but I don't like that. That to me is very, very cowardly and very, it's a sucker move. I will say though, so the story he's telling is that when the dudes ran down on Quentin Miller to get them to say that, you know, he was writing for Drake, they left him alone. They came back with a camera, told him to speak on it. He said no. I guess they left again, and Nicki Minaj supposedly, allegedly, told him that there was some suckers for seeing they ops, seeing they opponent, seeing the problem, and not doing something about it. So supposedly at her approval or at her suggestion, they ran back and beat him up, which, like I said, a lot of this, if you think about it and you speak it out loud, you just go, man, the stories don't make a ton of sense. Also, you got a drunk DJ Akademiks telling you what he thinks. I don't know that I believe it personally. I do think there are aspects of the story that are very believable based on the personality types and the time at hand when all this was happening. However, it's hard to take a dude seriously that's playing video games drunk at midday. So, I don't know. There's the Henny. They're going to ask him about it. His fans are like, why you always drunk?
Wait, the tweets are deleted?
And so those are the old tweets. Of course, they're going to be taken down by now. Why would they say that?
She got a point with the quitting shit? Hey, I mean, she might or she might not. That's not my place to judge that. I'm just saying that hands wouldn't have been put on, homie, if, yeah, they ran down on him. But she looked at him like, yo, y'all niggas pussy if y'all ran down on one of y'all ops and y'all don't do nothing. And they went back in and, yeah, I'm just saying. You feel me? That's it.
And now watch DJ.
Why I gotta be off the Henny when I'm on Twitch? I'm off the Henny all the time. Have a business meeting with me. I'm off the Henny. Listen, if we chilling, I'm off the Henny. If I'm asleep, I'm off the Henny. If I'm playing Fortnite, I'm off the Henny. That's just the thing with me, you know? Like, another thing that people be misconstruing, don't take by the tone of my voice. I'm not trying to threaten nobody to fights or physical altercations. I'm just speaking what I know to be true. If a nigga come and ever say, listen, I'm speaking.
We're gonna cut this
when
off
I speak,
here
I
shortly.
speak confidently. If I'm saying some shit and a nigga could come out and be like, yo, you're lying, or show me how it's true, okay, we could talk a different story. But
so in my opinion, you know, if you're gonna speak on some stuff like this, you gotta be prepared for the repercussions. I do think Nicki has power. I think she has people behind him, and I think if he gets caught in the wrong spot, he's gonna get. They gonna do something to him. I'm gonna say that. I don't think Nicki's soft. I don't think it's something that he could just continually talk about. I think Drake's gonna have a problem with this. I think Meek is gonna have a problem with this. I do think that maybe my man should not always be sauced up. I'm not judging. I like to drink just as much as the next person. However, if you constantly sauced up, man, there could be some underlying issues there. Let me know what you think in the comments about this whole situation. Obviously, Meek Mill and Drake are homies at this point. They've done shows together. I think they did a song on his most recent album together, Meek Mill's Championships. What do you think about Nicki Minaj? Do you think she could have been behind the whole thing? I completely believe she probably had something to do with it because she was in the middle of it. And maybe when Meek was getting out of pocket and Meek wasn't acting correctly, she wanted to try to straighten him out by throwing out the Drake thing because she knows that's probably a sensitive subject. Drake has always been a bigger artist than Meek, even though Meek is still a great rapper, and there could have definitely been some contention there. I don't know what to think about it. I think DJ Akademiks is full of it a little bit, and as I said previously, I can't really trust a dude sauced up in the middle of the afternoon who admits that he's always sauced up. I think that's kind of a bad look, and I think you should probably, you know, if you want people to take you seriously what you're saying, you should probably play that down a little bit, because Nicki's going to get on the radio tomorrow calling you a drunk, you know, sidekick. She's probably going to talk about your weight and all these different things because you saw stuff talking crazy. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm really fascinated to hear what people think about this, if this story's real, if it's just a bunch of BS. What you guys feel about DJ Akademiks? What do you think about Drake, Meek? What do you think about Nicki and her current state in hip-hop and her attitude towards a lot of other artists in the game right now? She's been known by a lot of people to try to stop their bag. You know, Remy Ma said that in the past, and other artists as well. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm your man Bo. We are the ESMR Avengers, and if you've been rocking with me for the duration of this video, go ahead and leave me a subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, leave me a like, and leave me a comment down below letting me know what other things you'd like to hear me speak on. I'm out. Peace and love. If I can find the button to turn this off. Peace.